dialogue with them, knowing that we will not succeed there 100%. That would be putting the bar too high. But we are also confident that once the Japanese people will see the Japanese athletes performing in these Olympic Games and hopefully even successfully performing in these Olympic Games, that then the attitude may become there less emotional, for not saying less aggressive.
Yes, gentleman here, and then the lady could go ready there. Thank you very much.
Hi, Mr. Bach. Mitch McCann from TV3 in New Zealand. Thank you for having us here. You spoke earlier to my New Zealand friend about Laurel Hubbard and the guidelines being reviewed for transgender athletes. Are you able to right now give your personal and complete support to Laurel Hubbard competing at Tokyo 2020?
The rules are in place and the rules have to be applied. You cannot change rules during an ongoing qualification system. And this is, what all the athletes of the world are relying on, that the rules are being applied.
Thank you very much. Yep. Over here, and then we'll get some more in a second.
Hello,
yes.
This is Nozomi Kunitake from NHK. President, I understand that the IOC already decided to extend the athletes' expression for Tokyo Olympic Games. But could you tell me the details about today's Korean flags in the Olympic Village that I understand that the IOC requested to remove? And could you tell me the reason why the IOC understands that which violates the Olympic Charter? And is there other cases so far? And could you, could you give us could you give the message to the athletes and the officials in the Tokyo Olympic Games for the free expression? Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. I'm not aware of the details because when this happened yesterday, I was in Hiroshima, as you know. I was only informed there today that the banners have been taken down by the Korean Olympic Committee. And this is obviously happened upon request of the IOC, because they're the guidelines to which you are referring are also saying, very clearly that the Olympic Village is one of the protected areas where the athletes, should and can live peacefully together. Without having to face any kind of divisive messages whatsoever.
Any messages to the athletes for the free expression for Tokyo Olympic Games?
The athletes know their rights. They can express their opinion in press conferences, in the mixed zone, on the social media, in their team meetings, in many other occasions, and their freedom of speech is fully protected, and it's what other protected areas are, as you know, the ceremonies and the competitions and the Olympic Village, because this is also the opinion and the request of a vast majority of the athletes worldwide, and this respects the Olympic spirit of mutual respect and of non-discrimination against each other and of a fair competition.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's have these, lady there and just behind, and the two gentlemen, gentleman here and these two gentlemen there. But if you could, again, keep your distance. That's Liam, hello. Just keep your distance. Yes, please, madam.
Okay, question from CCTV, Yolu. Dear President, I want to know what's your best expectation and worst expectation of Tokyo 2020? Do you have plan B if something terrible happens? And also, I still have a dream. Is there any possibility still left to keep the door open to the spectators during the Olympics if the conditions meet?
My expectations for Tokyo are the expectations of the athletes that we will have here a safe and secure and successful Olympic Games. This is what we are working for 8 years, and then in particular with regard to the anti-COVID-19 measures since 15 months. And we have their full confidence in these measures and in the cooperation with our Japanese partners and friends in the organizing committee and in the government. With regard to spectators, I will not comment on third anonymous sources about a bilateral meeting between the Prime Minister and myself. I would only just like to refer to the communiqué the 5 parties meeting has issued last week, which says that we will keep monitoring the anti-COVID developments, and if the circumstances should change, that then we will have another immediate meeting, 5 parties meeting, to address this with the relevant anti-COVID-19 measures.
Thank you. Let's take this.
Sorry, you don't ask me, you don't have the worst plan for Tokyo 2020, or you're confident, so you don't need it.
I told you what I had to say. I'm confident.
Thank you very much. Let's go to Liam Morgan. Liam, yeah, I think it is. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. Liam Morgan from Inside the Games. On the refugee Olympic team, obviously an official in the delegation tested positive, but I understand there's been a few close contacts identified. Is there any danger that the refugee Olympic team won't be able to compete in Tokyo at all? Is this a concern of yours given the current situation? Thank you.
Of course, we are concerned about any a positive case or any close contact. This is part of our rigid anti-COVID measures and about the strict application of all the rules. The members of the IOC Refugee Olympic team at this time, there has been a follow-up whether there was a close contact. I've been informed there this afternoon that there was no close contact being established following both rules and regulations, the rules and the anti-COVID rules in Qatar, where the refugee Olympic team is at this moment, or the majority. And with regard to the playbooks, but nevertheless, the concerned members of the team are being tested daily and are under supervision. And once there, the medical experts will have stated that everything has been done to apply the rules, to follow the rules in the strictest way, then they will decide then whether and when these athletes and officials of the refugee Olympic team can travel because of the fact that there so far all these tests again have been negative and that no close contact has been established. I'm very confident that we will see there the refugee Olympic team here in Tokyo. Christoph, you're maybe aware of all the details, if any more?
President, the only one detail I could add is that once all this will be done, we will do what everybody had to do, which is to fill up an activity plan. And then this will be reviewed by the government, and they will clear the coming of the delegation. So you see, it's not only what is happening currently with the testing, but it's also that extra step that will be needed for them to travel here. So when they come, indeed, they are considered to be safe and secured participants. So, President, this is what is ongoing at present.
I'm happy that I asked you.
Thank you, Christoph. Yes, over here.
Good evening. I'm Miley Hogan from 7 News Australia. There has been some criticism about a welcoming party tomorrow night for yourself and the Japanese Prime Minister and 40 other officials. Do you believe it is justifiable to hold a celebration with officials when the city is in a state of emergency and athletes won't be able to celebrate their victories with others?
We are the guests of the organising committee for this invitation, and we trust that the organising committee will follow all the regulations and restrictions, and will take every aspect into consideration. We are just guests.
Thank you very much. Yeah, gentleman over here.
Michael Pavitt from Inside the Games. Christoph Dewey, what is the highest capacity in the athletes' village during the Games, and when is there the highest possible risk you feel of infections?
Highest capacity does not necessarily equal highest risk. However, in terms of capacity, as you know, we have established new rules. We will have, as usual, around the mid-weekend, when you have the crossover of the two sports where you have the biggest quota. So at that point in time, for a capacity normally of 17,000 people for this village, it was designed for that capacity, we would have about 6,000 athletes and their entourage. So out of 17,000, around the mark of 9 would be the safe conditions that we have to maintain because of distanciation, being in the common space, in the dining hall, making sure as well in every social interaction in the transport mall we have the space. So out of what was designed initially with the measures we have and the duration of stay for the athletes, we have considerably reduced the peak at that point in time.
Thank you, Christoph. I think we can take probably 2 more. Yeah, lady there, and we'll have Mark von Tuyak down here. And apologies to everyone else. I think we've used up our allotted quota.
Thank you very much. It's Adrienne Arsenault from the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. Just following from my colleague from Australia, listening to what you're saying, I understand about you being guests at the event by the organizing committee, but you had a choice in deciding to hold your first in-person executive board meeting here in some 15, 16 months. How do you explain that to the Japanese people who are unable to come largely as spectators? And was there ever a moment where you thought, maybe we should do this one on Zoom out of respect for what they cannot do?
To organize Olympic Games, there are many events which have to go on, and you have to have your coordination meeting with the organizing committee. You have to have your chef de mission meetings in the Olympic village, and all this cannot be done by Zoom. And also, you know, the Japanese people have many meetings going on. They are working. They go after their business. When I was flying yesterday to to Hiroshima, the plane, there were many Japanese people. You can see life there is going on. And then on top of this, as you know, the vaccination rate of the IOC members and staff is close to 100%. And therefore, this executive board meeting is not only justified, it is necessary to ensure the smooth and proper organization of these Olympic Games.
Thank you very much. Mark Van Thuyac, if you could take the last question, Mark.
Oui, donc je me représente quand même, Marc Van Thuyac, and I will ask my question in French as usual. Lors des précédents Jeux Olympiques, le sujet majeur dont on a parlé, que ce soit à Pyeongchang ou à Rio, c'était la question de la Russie. Or là, on ne parle plus du tout de la Russie, qui est pourtant sanctionnée sur ces Jeux. Est-ce que vous pensez que c'est simplement l'effet Covid qui écrase tout, ou est-ce que vous pensez que bon, la question russe maintenant est résolue, ou au contraire, bon, on est habitué aux sanctions? Et est-ce que vous pensez que les Russes ont compris la leçon, les sanctions, et qu'en 2024, donc, il n'y aura plus de problème avec eux?
The sanctions by WADA are clear. They are applied here in the Games. And therefore, the athletes from the Russian Olympic Committee will take part under these sanctions.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. It is actually a real pleasure to be back here amongst you, so looking forward to many days of press conferences. And we will be back, I think, on Wednesday after the session. So thank you very much indeed. See you then. Bye-bye.